Welcome into the live stream, everybody. My name is Ben B, and I am your caster tonight. My microphone has just popped up in front of my face, but we are almost ready to go with our first game of the live stream, and there have been a lot of games going on this evening. So what I'm going to do first on up is check in on how the overall leaderboard is currently doing and how it stands as we go into this live stream. As you can see on the screen, we've currently got Deoxty currently leading at the top with 380 points. However, it is not a sole leadership, it is a joint leadership, right, alongside astrophysicist, AR IMAS, and then just 5 points behind is going to be Fade Away. Bad Sniper, who was having a hell of a good day yesterday in some of our games that we saw, is going to be in 5th position with 350, rounding out that top 5. Looking at the most picked legends, there have been changes since yesterday. Yesterday, if you remember, we were having a lot of Wraith on the board, but Loba has actually taken that top pick away. And not just by a little bit, convincingly, 71 picks comparatively to Wraith's 40 picks, followed up by Pathfinder. It is certainly interesting, that is for sure. Meanwhile, I am going to pin CCE Hazel's lovely post in the chat. Because if you want to join, you need to go over to cce.gg, come join in on the action and be a part of everything that is CCE. The SQL is an incredible format where you will get paired up with random players from across the Apex space, and you're going to have an opportunity to win money. The way that points work in this game is exactly like LGS. However, we do incentivize the placement points a little bit more than some of the than ALGS does, with kill points being a little bit less and also being capped. They also work across the team, so if you personally slay out and your teammate is able to be there as a great support, maybe doesn't get that many kills or assists, they're still going to get the points that the team will, because this is a team game after all. In the background, however, you probably have already heard we are going to be jumping into our first game, and it's going to be on E District for this first one. So what I'm going to very quickly do is have a little look at what we've got in terms of the bans. And we are going to have a Crypto, Seer, Axel, and Caustic ban for this first one, which certainly is going to be interesting. And I am going to be expecting a lot of Alter, being that we are going to be on E District. There we go. Game kicks on in, and we've got some Lobas already in play there. A couple Watsons as well. And as I suspected, there's the Alters coming through. It is going to be E District, and Alter is such a good legend on this map. Meanwhile, Darkmaster says, hey guys in the chat. Darkmaster, is lovely to have you in here. I appreciate you joining in with the live stream. As a reminder, there is a 2-minute delay on the live stream. So if you're playing and you die, come join in the stream. Let me know that you died. Let me know not to what happened. You know, it was a pure accident. It's a pure fluke. You know, that it happens to the best of us, you know. Anyway, we're going to be on with Sleepy G, who will be on that Watson, and unfortunately doesn't have a ring beacon console for me. So I'm going to bounce on over and try and find somebody who does have a ring beacon console. And we are going to stick with Zenchen to start with, who on Team 14 alongside Brochacho and King Volpini will be rocking it out over at... Oh my god, why have I forgotten your name? No. City Hall. How have I already... I can't even complain that it's late for me, folks. I mean, I have had a very long day, but it you know, that's just a brain melt. No? Freeze. Jeez, lads. It's tough already. No matter, Saint is getting kills in the kill feed, and we're going to bounce on over to that. It's probably going to be Old Town. It's not Old Town. It's actually going to be team number 7. Alongside Team 2, and it's going to be Klepto who goes on down. This is not going to be great for the Astrophysicist, because Astrophysicist is going to obviously be in that top spot alongside those 2 other players, and so they're going to need to get out of dodge. And we do have the fastest being in all of the universe, which is Gibraltar, who is just utterly ridiculously quick. Meanwhile, we're going to have a quick look because Team 6 and Team 14 are going to be getting into a fight over here at City Hall. I've remembered the name this time. And it's going to be Big Albor, who does get that first little bit of damage put upon them alongside Fluid TTB and Kainer. Pop the highlights back on for you so that you can see through walls. As Big Albor, as he did take quite a bit of damage. Gonna pop some shield cells, and they've got to be careful because coming down that stairs is gonna be Brochacho. Kainer is gonna be looking out over from that dome in the middle. The long range Prowler shots were nice. As Fluid TTV is going to be in the action. Unfortunately, throws that bracelet against the wall. That looks a little bit accidental. Around this corner they go. We go back over to Kainer's POV, who has put that ultimate in, as well as some tacticals to try and stop a push. In the meanwhile, somebody is on that right-hand side, and that is exactly who Kainer is going to be looking on at. Breaking that door as we go back over to see what Fluid's doing, and Fluid is just on their own little mission. Meanwhile, we are seeing Clone getting some knocks in the kill feed. I'll have to have a look where that fight is. Looks like this, I mean, this is still that fight that we literally are just on right now. It's probably going to be the, there we got Team 13 and Team 5 are going to be fighting down at the bottom of the map. We'll go back over to that Team 6 fight, as Kainer is still holding angles and still holding space in the middle of City Hall. Kainer popping that knuckle cluster. I believe Clyde does come from France, if I'm not mistaken. And we've already seen Clone go crazy on the fuse. As another French player. Maybe we'll see more. Meanwhile, Saint is picking up kills, and it is going to be pushing up on to team number 14. Zenchen was about to drop on down, opted not to, and they are going to get the knock onto one of these players. Swinging around this corner, double hemlock right now in the mix for Zenchen. And just not able to quite get those Watson fences up like they wish they should. Pix is going to get some kills, but they have been third-partied, and it's going to be Kainer who will be coming into the mix. Saint gets out of the fight for now. Able to stick the res. And it looks like for now that Kainer is not going to push on in with Fluid. Meanwhile, Bloom Dion is going to be getting some knocks in the kill feed. And we are going to be having Saint looking to try and get back into this. Maybe they've realized that this is just a duo. They are now fully healed up, and then you can see Kainer through that wall on the fuse. Picking up some loot. And Kainer takes quite a bit of damage, loses all shield. Fluid is 350 meters away. Courtesy of the knuckle cluster, slightly less now, down to 300, but still basically on the other side of the map. And Kainer is going to look to get on out of here, and I think they probably will successfully do that. Meanwhile, we are getting fighting going down here with Team 16. They're going to be up against Team 8, who are inside of the building as well. Tikorn takes a lot of damage, and here comes Vash, who has climbed on up, and that Vash getting shot from the other side of the compound, getting knocked by Rest Assured. Unfortunately, neither of the teammates are able to get dragged back through, and that will be some free kills for both of the teams, picking up one apiece. Charged up Rampage, doing a hell of a lot of damage onto that Loba. But they're not going to push for now. Steph rocking it as the sniper's mark is taking down Astrophysicist. And we're also getting kills elsewhere. We're going to go over to Clone, who is back up on the flues, who swings around that corner. Clone, who won yesterday's games, if I'm not mistaken, potentially is about to go down, just about gets back into the mix. And this was Clone was saying on the stream after we raided him. Clone had been playing as a controller player. Recently went back onto MNK after playing controller for the last couple of years. And you can say is absolutely loving it. Also going to be playing alongside Rondon streams and Paulino, which is an utterly devastating team if they're able to get going. Astrophysicist looking for Clone, is going to pop down the zip line. and is going to try and get into the mix, but I think Clone has got out of there using the fuse Q. Not fighting for now, and the team is going to be split. We bounce back on over because fighting is still continuing to happen over here. It's going to be Team 7. Saint on the altar has got a Q available. And it's just going to be a duo. Is Gomez unfortunately fell, and it's going to mean that Mr. Check is going to have to be really careful because they are up on the height. Mr. Check using that vantage Q to get out of dodge. Teammate having to hide instead behind this car to avoid getting seen. However, the conduit was not aware. Unfortunately, the shot's not quite hitting there for Cheesy Bubble. Gets the knock onto Vince, but unfortunately for them, Saint was able to follow it up. Team 17 will be eliminated as Mr. Check goes down to Klepto. We have a little look at this feed, and it does look like we are going to be going up towards Electro Down. I really like where Team 10 are currently located for that end zone. Nades, however, are coming on out, and it's going to be Clone rocking the fuse, who's going to be pushing up and getting aggressive onto this. He was so far from his teammates that I wasn't even able to find them. Jeez. There we go. Paulino and Rondon catch it back up to Clone, as Vince is now the last remaining player on this team. It looks like we've got a Maggie getting into the mix. Saint will get rezzed, just about able to get it off in time. And Vince, who's now going to climb onto this first floor, grabs a little bit of ammo. And unfortunately, Saint will fall. Vince is just going to have to try and get out of here. Thankfully, obviously, playing as the conduit, if they're able to look at a respawn beacon or a crafter, they are going to be able to speed up a little bit, which is nice to see. Down goes Pix, eliminated there by Clone, as Kiner will finish off Evan J. Kirk. Ring is closing, folks. And we are getting teams bunching up. And as I mentioned, Team 10 are in a really good position. Getting the knock, though, is Team 15 onto Hazel. Fadeaway, lovely to have you in the chat as well. I've just seen your message. Yo to you as well, my dude. Lovely to have you here, and everybody who is watching on the live stream. Hazel manages to get a kill down. Oh, and I've just realized that my phone started playing the stream there, so sorry if you heard me double for a second. Rest assured, it's definitely going to be rested assured knowing that Prod Zero is back up onto their feet. Bad Sniper takes up onto the heights, and Cinnabran is going to be looking down. Unfortunately, no sight on this R301. And it's going to be Bad Sniper who's pushing up onto what I believe is CCE Hazel. It isn't. It's going to be Bouncy, Odegaard, and Gooch. 106 spray from Bouncy, but Bouncy falls, and it's going to be up to his teammates to be able to close this one out and try and clutch up. Algarado goes up onto the height, does not have an ultimate available, and actually Gooch did a really good job there of using the Q to basically cause a distraction, but unfortunately it's not going to be quite enough. Yes, they got the cracks onto Bad Sniper, but Prod Zero from afar was able to get those shots down. We have a little look at this kill feed, and it does look like 9 and 11 are fighting. Good shots there from Deste. He's going to be looking inside of here. They put down some smoke, and it's going to stop people being able to see, so maybe they might be able to push up onto this. Meanwhile, inside it's going to be Hazel, who unfortunately has lost down on Trill, and this is why this team is pushing. They've recognized it's a duo. They've got the knock onto one. Zesty is doing what they can, but unfortunately a third party comes around this corner, and Bad Sniper and co are here to fight. I say that Bad Sniper is now going to dip on back instead. Maybe they just decided, you know what, it's not quite the fight for us, and they're going to go back up onto the height. I don't mind this call at all. Meanwhile, Team 16 and Team 12 are right up on top of each other. Ramo using the Q to get aggressive onto this Fuse. Fuse taking a huge amount of damage. We'll be queuing on away again, and that's potentially... It's not Clone, it's not Kinda, it's going to be CP Saito, who unfortunately has got 5 seconds until his next Q. He's running around in the water, though, which is going to be very loud for the teams around. Managing to find a spot in here, as actually Team 12 is going to be getting third-partied. Andrew maybe accidentally exiting the queue. But just about gets in here. He's got to be so careful. He's going to die to the zone. Andrew, you were on 1 HP and went for the bat. Ramo has got a couple seconds left until the queue. Q's on forward, gets into the zone, but there is a team right here. And Ramo's going to have to do a lot. Almost is able to get down onto that low ground and survive, but isn't quite able to. Meanwhile, Paulino and Clone and Rondon have pushed on into the zone, into safety, but they're going to have to keep on going. Particularly when they are getting angled by CP Ubu, who has actually managed to survive for now. He's actually down on the low ground of this. You can see there. Courtesy of our observer tools of being able to see through walls. I think they can hear the player, which is why Clone is looking around, trying to find where they are. I think a Q might come down through. There we go. The Q, they dropped on down. They have figured out that there is a player inside of here. Rondon and Clone swing round to the other side. And CP Saito does get taken on out. And I think that if they had actually just stayed completely still, they would have been fine. Unfortunately, when you've got players such as Clone and Rondon and Paulino above you, they are going to be able to hear those movements. And it is now all up to where Paulino puts that Q. It's not a bad spot, and now the ultimate comes on out from Clone. Has to get behind cover as Rondon, unfortunately, Paulino goes down. Rondon has pushed on up, Qs are plenty, and it's doing a good amount of damage. The Qs may actually get the knocks, but it's going to be Rondon who falls, and it's going to be Tukaina, who is also playing on that Fuse. Clone tries to do what they can, but it is not going to be enough. 9 kills to Clone. And that will be all she wrote. Fluid, Big Arbor, and kind of doing a really good job of holding out that team. Fluid moves on forward, using that Q. And I saw Fluid did pop into the chat saying that they were streaming tonight. I asked for some W's. And there might still be a chance yet. Big Arbor is going to have to do a really good portal play. Thankfully, it looks like Kinda will be able to get back on in. And they're actually opting to res inside of a round 3 closing zone. They're going to go down to zone. That was a bold call, as Kinda does actually just about get in. And they get the finish onto Team 4. A bold play, but one that has ended up working out for Team number 6. 5 squads left remaining. This is what it's looking like with Team 15 residing on the height. Is money... on every game... Wait, is it money every game on placement? I'm not sure what the question is, but it's money for the weekend, and every game that you play will get you overall points towards the prize pool. I hope that answers your question, Main. If it hasn't, please do confirm what what the question was, because I might have absolutely butchered it. Meanwhile, Flo saying, been waiting for a long time, not going to lie. I'm sorry that I wasn't streaming a little bit earlier, but we're back, and Rusty is getting in on the action. Unfortunately, Rusty does go on down as QPMS manages to get the knock onto Rest Assured, and Team 1 are taken on down. Some really good cues, I think, came out there from QP, as there is a Stinger Bolt in the mix. The swing, though, onto the Sparrow, 180. Sparrow's doing what they can, is somehow surviving. It's going to be Vegu, who actually gets out of that. Vekuk, that is insane. That is actually insane. You're now going to have to pop that med kit. Thankfully, the zone is not quite closing yet, as Rusty G is going to get back up onto their feet. Rusty, who, if anybody was on CCE website, you would have seen Rusty's stream was being featured. And if you'd like to be featured on a future embed on the CCE website, do let us know that you are streaming, and maybe there might be a chance as Breba goes down to the riot drill of QP. And I have to say, QP is doing a great job with that riot drill, as Cinnabron is also doing a great job taking this height and watching over, being able to just provide slightly different angles, and now they do fall. Cinnabron jumps on down, and they have spotted out that player. It's the Stinger Bolt there, stopping any push around this corner. And down on that left-hand side, you can see some players. QP has spotted them. Rusty G drops on down. However, Rusty G didn't realize there was anybody around that corner. It's going to be Big Albor, who puts down the thermite and does such a good job. And now comes a fuse in from the back. That might well be Kaina, who has come in on that. Cinnabron just about surviving, but goes on down. It was indeed Kaina who pushed up on that third party, takes the kill leader with 9 kills away from Clone, who he did manage to kill a little bit earlier. And they have found the last 2 players. A Loba queues on out. Fluid does fall, so Kaina swings around, gets the knock onto Vekuk. And it's just 1 player left. The Loba jumps up onto the height. The Fuse Knuckle Cluster, though, does exactly the same. And Team 6 come away as your champions. Kaina with the victory. And that is going to be first place. 11 kills go to Kaina, Big Albor, and Fluid coming on in. And Fluid, I asked you for a big dub on stream, and that is exactly what you've done, brother. A brilliant showing from you there. 17 kills for the winning team. Team 20 with 11 kills. Cannot complain. But I do believe that Team 20 fell in 8th position. So we're going to have a little look at the latest standings in that latest match, just so that we can see exactly where everyone fell. And there we go. Kaina and Fluid, and of course, Big Albor, your champions of that game. It does look like we are getting another map as well, so I'm just going to quickly jump into that so that I don't miss it on stream, because nothing worse than missing a match. And we did get in the time, that is good. But anyway, Kaina, Fluid, Big Albor come out as your champions. It's going to be Kaina who takes the damage and the kills away. Meanwhile, second position is going to be Breba, Vekuk, and Deste, who will be getting 6 kills. We've then got Cinnabron, QP, and Rusty G, who come away with 8 kills and 3rd position. But it is down in 8th place. That is going to be Rondon, Clone, and Paulino, who get 11 kills. And it could well have been them that got on to win this. If you remember, it was the winning team who actually ended up taking down this team right here of Rondon, Clone, and Paulino over at Galleria. And you never know, on a different day, if that team, if Kaina, Fluid, and Big Albor had fallen, who knows, Clone and Co may have gone on to win it. But we are going to be going into our next game. Before I do that, I'm going to hit you with a very short ad break, and then we'll be straight back in on World's Edge. And we're back straight into our next game, folks. And it is going to be, as I mentioned, over on Worlds of Edge. The bands in this game: Axel, Sia, Mad, Maggie, and Fuse, which means the destruction duo of Maggie and Fuse will be out of this one. That's going to be great if you're a Gibraltar player. Axel, obviously banned as well. We haven't seen barely any Axel gameplay, and also no Sia in this mix. I'm absolutely a massive fan of there being no Axel, no Sia, because that duo is just absolutely horrendous. For anybody that's been playing any ranked this season, you will know exactly what I am talking about. But we are going to be in this one here, looking at the legend compositions, and it looks like Evan has picked the Watson, which will allow us to get ourselves, hopefully, a little ring beacon console scan. Evan, I am relying on you, my friend, to go and hit that one for us. But we'll have a little look and see where this first ring goes, and it's going to be pulling towards a central northern pull. I wouldn't be surprised if we do potentially end up over at these buildings just here. Granny's house, I think it's sometimes known as, but this potentially could be a good spot for this one to end. This also could go up towards War Camp. I've not personally been able to cast any end games yet at War Camp, so I wouldn't mind seeing it. But meanwhile, we have got an insane push coming out already from team number 18. Dainty Corn lands up on the height, and it's going to be King Volpini, who just completely surprises out the player, burning them down. Volpini didn't get the finish just yet, as Grimeworthy gets the finish on to Steph. Inside this building, it's just going to be Twizzy Bosworth, and I do think that Twizzy may well have just asked a little bit too much. They've got a lot of canisters on these stairs, and it might be worth you just putting even more down if you want any chance of surviving, I can't lie. Twizzy managing to take down one, puts more barrels down on the stairs, goes through the portal, but slides into the thermite, and that thermite is just going to be too much. Our first team down, unfortunately, is going to be team number 18. We look at the kill feed, and my mouse quickly died. We're going to bounce on over very quickly, though, and the Wabberjack goes down. Unfortunate that we saw that on stream, but it's going to be up to AR Skin, who takes a huge amount of damage. Late Function also taking a huge amount of damage. A little bit of a melee. And it's just Skin who is just sliding their way down this hill towards the epicenter. They will be getting out of this one. Meanwhile, it does like Minato having a very weird interaction with the bracelet. A little bit of a no, no, no. And a yes, yes, yes after getting that kill. Being able to take that altar portal back on up to the height. As Brochacho is going to be in the action up against Team 1 and has got the knock onto Rambo. Pix and Vosky will be doing what they can here. Managing to get the knock here onto Ramo is going to be Vosky. And now the players are moving up on the height, so Pix is going to hit that Q. Will be bouncing on back to the teammates. And Skymaids are falling from both teams here. They've got to be really careful. Not able to get any damage there, but Vosky does, and Brochacho goes down. Nice bit of movement there from Pix to get up onto the height, but it's going to be an altar portal. They're dragging the teammate back. Thankfully, they do have a conduit, which means that they're going to be able to get the lovely little passive regen on the health, as well as being able to hit a Q. Brochacho, though, takes a little bit of damage. It isn't going to heal all the way back on up. Brochacho is just trying to heal as Q end falls and has met their end at the hands of Pix. One player left remaining is going to be Manasso, but however, they are on a Loba, and so they're going to be able to bounce all the way on out of there using those bracelets. Meanwhile, fighting is still happening, and it's going to be Team 8 who have taken this banana building, and they're going to be getting face down upon by Team 1. I do want to know, Team 8 have rotated quickly in here. They've got a catalyst and they've taken this building. It's because they have got the beacon scan. And I mentioned that it could be a Warcap endgame. I've not seen it. We are going to be getting one now. Pix climbs up onto the height. Looking on down, as we are going to hear in the background, there is a respawn happening, and it is going to be that Loba, who was a solo just a moment ago, getting their teammates back on into this, which is great to see. Ramo takes the height, as Vosky is looking to try and just get some angles out with the alter cues. Maybe trying to kidnap somebody, which I'm not mad about at all. And it does look like Pix is actually going to try and get one out of here. They've instead decided to move into Epicenter. And they're going to take the height of Epicenter. It's not a bad play. I think they've realized that this is a good position. And they have got an opportunity because I think they saw the third party maybe coming on in. If they kept on trying to push what is a really difficult push of a catalyst inside of a building, because they're able to lock it on down. And now they're actually going to take the altar portal all the way back. And they're now going to be the ones third partying the third party. Heads up play, and Grim Reaper getting a taste of your own medicine. Taken down by the scything hands of team number one. Pretty happy with the wordplay on that one there, can't lie. Clip that one. Meanwhile, Ramo is going to be on the bridge, getting a little bit of loot. Teammates picks will be looking on over this. And I had to say that I'm staying on board with this team just because I'm really liking how they're playing as a team. I say that Saint has just got a kill in the kill feed, and it looks like the fighting is happening. Team 7 taking down Latom. And it's going to be Grindworthy, who was in the chat, I believe. And they're now getting kills on the kill feed. Garado. And cameraman by died, but holding strong. And he now puts the Sparrow ult in, which is a really good thing to do because they can swing around that corner and they're able to get the knock onto one of those players. Grindworthy taking a huge amount of damage, still stunned. But thankfully, it's just about able to get out of here. But you can hear, it sounds like there's a Revenant pushing. It isn't a Revenant. It's going to be a Gibraltar Ultimate that's actually just dropped. And it's going to be KW55 alongside of Clone and Trems. And KW almost hurting themselves there, which is wild to see. Odigorado has actually managed to get the revive onto Latom. Latom will stick the res as well, which means we have got a full 3 versus 3 in the mix right now. Player pushing up his course, going to be Clone. Definitely will be leading this fight right here. And it'll be up to them to put down some well-placed Bangalore smokes. A evac tower comes out, and I don't know if that is to try and move or if that is to try and have a little bit of artificial cover with the smoke that comes on up. Meanwhile, Team 2 are taking on out, and it was, I think, just a bit of a panic evac, if anything. Down go Team 2, Team 11 with the kills. And we're going to have a look at that map as to what is happening right now. Team 12 and Team 9 are looking at each other as they try and get into the ring. To tag us in stream, F6, you just need to just put at CCE TTV in your caption. I believe it is. And anybody that searches CCE will find you. Also, make sure you check CCE SQL in your title as well. That helps as well. Meanwhile, Andrew is up on that height, and they're going to be looking on down with the devotion, but they have been third party. There is another team very close by, and Zenchen will actually get a knock from a distance. Andrew has to pop the Octane pad, and it's going to be bouncing on out. They've got double pad, but unfortunately, get followed up, and down they go. Zenchen also able to get a knock onto Max Strafe in the kill feed, and Max Strafe is taken on out. Bad Sniper and Bradstace as a team is a really good combination. But when you've got Zenchen just going absolutely crazy with a Hemlock, there's not really much you can do. Bad Sniper is going to drop on down, and is not able to play Loba in this game. Has opted instead for the Bangalore. We'll be moving on over. Takes a little bit of damage from the lava. We'll be pulling on away, getting to a bit of safety. Meanwhile, Chambers is getting some kills in the kill feed, and that is going to be onto Ramo. This might be inside of the tunnel right here. It is indeed. There's Chambers. Round that corner swings Paulino, and Paulino gets the knock onto Chambers. Sai and Swanwick inside of the Gibraltar bubble, but he swings outside of the bubble with ADSing. That's not what you want to do as a Gibraltar. You've got an ADS. You can't really be hip firing like they just did, because when you get the ADS, you obviously get that lovely arm shield. Bad Sniper, meanwhile, has actually just got a knock onto Minuto in the kill feed, and that is going to be over here on that southeast side of the zone. Bad Sniper getting some hemlock shots from afar, not really able to tickle too much as Bread Slice even pushes on up and puts Fadeaway on toast. Grimeworthy, I nearly 3v1s, but my team was buns. It sometimes happens. Sometimes the team chemistry isn't always there, and that is what the joy of an SQL is you're not always sure who you're going to be able to get, and it's why it's always a blast, because sometimes you're going to get teammates that you gel with, sometimes you don't, but nonetheless, I hope you're having fun, Grimeworthy, and I can't wait to see you come away with the dub in the next game. Kills going down, and it's going to be team 11 and 13. Clone is going to be inside of the Wraith portal. May try and bounce on out, and they're actually going for a brilliant play. That is absolutely unbelievable. Who is this? It's going to be Bloom Dion, Paulino, and Imas, who, whilst the Wraith portal was in play, puts down a respawn beacon on top of that, and it's going to force them out. My God. Team 13, absolutely 200 IQ on the plays right there to stop what are two very good players being able to get out using that Wraith portal. Meanwhile, we are going to be getting kills in the feed. Max Strafe is going to be back into the action, and the fighting is going to be going on over at East Village. It's Q-End, Manato, and Brochacho. Brochacho swings on through and is going to take down Evan J. Kirk. Down you full team 17. That is going to be Fadeaway, Kirk, and Kamina. They're going to be able to get the revive, and fighting is continuing to happen. It's going to be Team 6, whose Bad Sniper has taken a lot of damage. They're going to put down a Bangalore ultimate. Max Strafe will be leading the charge through the wall, courtesy of somebody else's altar portal. So they can be very happy about that to be able to get themselves through, because otherwise they might well have gone down. Trap falls courtesy of Bloom Dion, and Max Strafe picks up the kill on Paulinho. Team 6 somehow able to survive that. However, they've been pushed egregiously by Trems, who is going to be playing out as a solo. Trems will be feeling confident on that push. Takes a huge amount of damage. Is going to have to queue away. Shield swap, not quite able to get on out. It was a good effort, but Max Strafe at the P2020's taken them down, and it's going to come the kill leader for that kill. 2,700 damage right now for Max. Wild to see. The ring is closing, and yes, there are a lot of Loba ults currently in play, as Max does get some long range damage, but this is where the ring is going. It's moving away from the war camp, and it's going over to the East Village, which means that Team 3 are in a really good spot inside of the zone, as everybody has got to move towards them. Team 8, meanwhile, who took this spot so freaking early, have got one kill alone. That is going to be to Deoxty, who, thankfully, but because they're playing a low, but they're able to actually play this zone positioning really well, because they're able to put down those ultimates, scoop up supplies from teams that go down around them, and they're going to be able to get themselves into an end zone position. A respawn is happening elsewhere. It is not Team 9. I don't think it's Team 10 either. Team 10, who are going to be up on this height. They are getting shot a little bit, but they are inside of the zone. Rondon, though, has pushed on and got aggressive. Has got to be careful, but thankfully is playing that low bridge, going to be able to get on in. Meanwhile, teams are flying on through. It's going to be Team 6. We go to see where they're going to land, and they're actually going to drop on the low ground. A little bit of a split drop there. They've all dropped on down now, and Max is going to lead that push over the top of the wall. You can hear teams are fighting, and so Team 6 are going to try and third party this right now. They're just keeping an eye on that fight. A little bit of damage coming in from those nades. And now they swing. Max getting the knocks, courtesy of the assist from Bread Slice. P20's into the sky. Q-End falls. And Team 3, who had a good position inside of the zone, do get taken on down. Max Strafe now doing a great job with those flatlines, is now going to queue on up now P2020s with hammer points and with the laser sight going absolutely crazy. Max losing all their shield, as does Bad Sniper. They've also lost out on the Bread Slice, and this fight is not going the way that they would have wanted. A third party is coming in, and Max is going to have to get on out of there. It is just a solo left on the other team, but Ramo takes down Max, and Ramo will surely fall. Team 1 did a great job of clutching up a 4th place position, taking down Max Strafe, and managing to get not just the 4th position, but also those kills that come alongside that. That is an extra 5 points or 50 points in this setup that they have just managed to secure for themselves, which is absolutely massive in the overall standings. Meanwhile, Team 10 are going to be up on the height, and they're going to be looking at Team 8, who is still inside of that building. It is going to be Team 8. It's going to be Team 9, and it's going to be Team 10 that we are going to be looking at. Chambers, 200 ping, and I died in a tunnel by Warcam. Unfortunate from you there, mate. I did see that you got the knock, one of the knocks, but just unfortunately, a teammate swung you, which was a bit of a shame. But these things happen. You'll be back in the next game, I'm absolutely sure, as Bakery actually manages to get a knock on to Trit Lasang. Trit Lasang. Move it on down, and here comes the team from East Village. It's going to be Team 9, and an ultimate has been dropped on their head, courtesy of a Gibraltar. They're getting shot from the sky. It's just the Oxley who will just about get inside of the zone, but they're going to have to do something crazy if they're wanting to clutch up a first or even just a second place at this point that they're playing for. They're not going to be able to do it, and it's now going to be a straight 3 versus 3. Bakery takes a huge amount of damage. Shield swap comes on out. And it looks like they're actually going to use the ultimate to get back into the building. And we popping a med kit. However, they have seen that this has been pulled. And Hyper swinging on through with the R99 102. But Zenshin with a massive doing absolute bits. Zenshin does fall to Rondon though, and Rondon also takes down Bakery. It is a straight 1 versus 1. It's the Bird up against Rondon. L-Star in hand. Bubble comes on out, and why is Bird leaving the bubble? If Rondon just has to wait, and Bird, you could have just healed inside the bubble. That is gutting to see, but it is going to be a win for Rondon, who I know was in chat yesterday, was having some tough days. Tough games yesterday, but I'm sure he'll be very happy with the first place in that last game. 6 kills as well, which is great to see for team number 10. Rest team 10. There they are. 3 kills to Rondon, 3 kills to Hyper, and 0 kills to Leclerc, but doing a great job as that conduit to assist the team. That latest match looks a little bit like this. Meanwhile, I'm going to just make sure that we get myself into this next game. It looks like I should be able to get in there in time as well. As I go over the scores, and then we do have that, obviously, the Rondon, Leclerc, and Hyper coming away as the champions. Max Strafe, who did end up falling in 5th place position, did come away as your kill leader and the damage leader. With 8 kills and 3.6k damage. We look through here. It was going to be Bird, Bakery, and Zenshin who get 2nd place position. I think a slight misplay coming in from the Bird, who was maybe just getting a little bit aggressive with those Gibraltar the Gibraltar, and maybe could have played inside the bubble a little bit, but that's all good. It's a learning for the next game. I'm sure that the bird will be back, soaring up to the top of the leaderboard. And speaking of the leaderboard, we'll have a look at the overall standings as it currently stands. Bad Sniper actually managing to take the top spot away from Deoxdy, who obviously was residing in top position just a moment when we first joined stream 3 games ago. We have a little look here. Everybody is now joining the lobby, which is great to see. Everybody, if you would like to come and join, all you need to do is head to cce.gg to join the action. It's a solo queue league. What you end up doing, I'm just going to pin this to the feed. What it is, it's solo queue, and you basically will enter the queue, and you'll get paired up with some random people, and you'll then have to fight your way to the top with these random people. If you're able to win that game, you're going to come away with a hell of a load of points. Likewise, you're going to get points for kills, and it is the similar type of system to the ALGS. There is a slight more, a little bit less incentive for kills, just that the kills are worth a little bit less than they are in the ALGS, whereas in the placement is worth more. Also, with the ALGS point system, whereas you get 12 points for a win, you get 120. So it's all just times by 10, basically, is the way that it works. I hope that that's a good enough explanation. Hazel, you're in the chat, and if I haven't given a good explanation, then you can give a better one. Meanwhile, I am going to go into a very small ad break, just whilst I go get a drink of water, and then we'll be in with the next game over on Stormpoint. On in to this next game, and we're going to be over, as you can see, on Storm Point. We're on board with Valem, Cheesy Bubble, and Croat My G, and unfortunately for this team, they're going to be on that wonderful position of the hillside. Thankfully, nobody has landed at Stormcatchers, so they will be able to move on over and go get some additional loot. But as a reminder, folks, this is going to be LGS system when it comes to the drops, or just ranked when you get to a high enough level where you're going to be dropped into a random location rather than having to use the dropship. It just makes for fairer lobbies, and we're all for that over here at CCE, particularly now that we're partnered with PlaySafe, which is going to mean that actually every player in this lobby is vetted, and it's going to be eliminating any prospect of cheaters moving forward, which is wonderful to see. Thank you so much to PlaySafe for partnering with us, and we can't wait to see this collaboration grow further and further. Meanwhile, I see that the 420 chef has said that they might join, and that is what we absolutely want to see. We're going to get somebody cooking in this lobby. The 420 chef, get on in here. First fighting, though, is going to potentially be taking place over here with Team 8. I'm going to very quickly just find somebody who's going to hit me the ring beacon scan. Nope. Nope. And nope. Wait a minute. Wait. This team at the top. Surely you've... Oh, my God. As you can tell, folks, my button doesn't work. So, unfortunately, I can't actually hit this myself, and it's absolutely heartbreaking. I've been trying to figure out for months now why it hasn't been working. No matter what I change it to, it just doesn't give me the option to hit next ring beacon scan. So, instead... we're going to have to watch this. Team 16 are going to take to the skies. They've got to be very careful, though, because Team 19 are going to be looking at them. And they, unfortunately, just didn't decide to focus fire a player. These two players deciding to split. One player's gone down to the south. One's gone to the north. And one just didn't even jump on the jump tower. As Paulino is managing to take down Rare Halo Bros in the feed. Rare Halo Bros who came into the chat yesterday saying that they were missing the action. I think they had uni or were moving house or something like that. And so I'm so glad to see that you are back in today, Rare Halos. And it's wonderful to have you part of the action as always. The Fuse managing to get on out of there as Kaina is taking down Hazel in the feed. And our first team down is going to be 5, and it's going to be Kaina who picks up all 3 of those kills. Hazel, welcome back to the chat, my friend. Unfortunately, not able to see any more action from you on this one. Fighting is happening elsewhere, though. And it looks like it's going to be team over at Sonose with Bad Sniper, the last remaining player, who's going to try and do what they can, but it's not going to be enough. Genesee and Co. taking them down as Team 8 also go down. Meanwhile, Team 6 and Team 13 are in a fight, and it is a straight 3 versus 3. Ultimate expended, but unfortunately, Clone will fall, as will Livlet. They have spotted out that last player, and some really good shots from afar does take down Big Alba. We have a quick look, and fighting is happening elsewhere. We'll bounce on over. Come on, map. Press it. There we go. Team 4 up against Team 11. Kaina, who's already got 3 kills. Q's in front of him, stopping people from pushing up. Pathfinder did not get the message, and rest assured, getting put to rest. But thankfully, Kamina has able to push round, and because the team was split, there was an opportunity, but Verguk taking them down. Team 11 out of this lobby and be waiting for the next game. Team 9 and Team 2 do seem to be the next team that are about to fight. And Wabberjack with a really well-timed Watson pylon to stop nades from the opposing team. The Lobers got to get behind a cover. They swing in wide, and now they swing aggressively. They've got to hit their shots, and they did. It is just the triple take Sasuke. Sasuke? Yes, it is Sasuke. Team 9 on the crypto. Up on the height is going to pop an EMP just to try and get a little bit of extra damage, but leaves that drone and is going to be put straight into the vision of everybody else. Meanwhile, we are going to be seeing Team 10 noting that Kaina's team is going to be leaving Coastal and will be moving on up towards them in the pylon. Evan putting down some rampart walls. Verguk is very far away, and Kaina is deciding to maybe just call his team back. Does seem to be the play. I mean, Evan has pushed so far forward. I don't quite know why Evan is so split from the team, particularly with how deep they currently are residing. Evan now getting aggressive, does get the knock onto Voski. But it just wasn't the best play from them. QNs will be able to get the revive onto Voski, and now they're going to have to be very careful of that team. But actually, Kaina has swung on through, and using the ultimate to breach through the wall, they're able to get the re-knock onto Voski. Voski is going to be able to get revived by Deste. And thankfully, it does look like Kaina and Co have decided to dip one out of there. I'm sure that they are going to be slightly miffed that Evan did push so aggressively on their own. And they're going to be, oh my god, they're leaving zone, and they're going to go straight into the hands of Team 2. We'll just keep an eye for now on this fight here with Team 7, as unfortunately, Sai goes down. Rare Halo Bros back in this one after a day off yesterday. Grappling forward, and he'll be using the Pathfinder grapple to get up onto the height, but it's not going to be quick enough. Brochacho, last remaining player on this team, and it will be Team 17 who have pushed up onto this. They're going to pop the crypto drone to try and find where that last remaining player is. Bloom Dion. Thankfully not finding them for now. And I've started trying to type for some reason. Brochacho is going to be alive. It doesn't look like they've got them found. Bloom is doing what they can to try and find them, and they're actually going to be able to hit a ring scan. So I have a feeling that they will get spotted out. Doesn't even need the ring scan. Prowler shots. But Breber missing with the Hemlock. Is going to be up to Genesee to close this one out. The Wraith will queue forward, but will fall as they exit the queue. And down goes Brochacho. A solid effort from the Bro. As Team 10 are now going to be taking what looks like a Pathfinder zipline. It is indeed. It's going to be Vosky using that Pathfinder zipline to move forward. There are teams moving up towards CISO Station. There was also Team 2 who are now going to be the ones shooting at them from afar. Hazel, in the meantime, I appreciate the call out for followers and subscribers. It will be lovely to see some subscribers in the mix. If you are liking what you're seeing, I really hope that you're enjoying the streams, and I really hope that you like the casting as well. Bringing energy late on over here in the UK, and it's wonderful to have so many people being able to tune in and watch. Getting to cast over your games is always an absolute pleasure of mine. I wouldn't change it at all. Meanwhile, Latom is getting kills onto Rooch in the feed, and this is probably going to be this cluster. Pix fade away, and Latom. Pix has got the ultimate, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do indeed pop it. There we go. We've called it. Pix moving forward. And we'll be putting that portal down just on the stairs. A good Watson fence, actually a really well placed Watson fence, will stop any type of push because they can't even close the door. Now the nade does come out, so it is going to be, they are going to be able to push on through. Latom managing to get that side angle. Pix goes through the building, and Saint will fall. Deste will be overlooking all of this alongside Vosky and QEnd, who have obviously made that rotate from Watson's pylon. And up on the height, they are looking to see if Team 13 do move. But actually, it's not going to be Team 10 that they have to worry about, because Team 13 have got aggressive, and it's going to be a Catalyst team. They're breaking those doors using a Arcstar. And it's going to be a Watson and a Catalyst inside of this building. This is so rough for Team 16, trapped in a corner, and it really... I was about to say it's like Duck Hunt. It's not like Duck Hunt. It's more just sort of like hide and seek. It's like Mecha Chameleon is what it is. They're just hiding in a corner, hoping that they're not going to be seen. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter how many pretty fences and drawings that you're able to make with them. They are going to find you, and they will hunt you down. Team 13 on a roll right now. Already have got 7 kills, 7 KP for Pix. And now there are players moving over across. Swank falls as Klepto moves on forward on the Octane. Huss inside of the zone. And Huss will fall likely. There they go. 18 out of this one as Breber picks up kills onto Oz. And onto Genesee. Nades being expended. QEnd on this bit of height, as it does look like they are the closest team to the fighting. Team 4 and Team 17 also very close to each other, and it's going to be Kainer, who is extended away from his teammates. Teammates on the far side of this wall. Kainer has bounced on back and has managed to get into a healthy position. Meanwhile, Evan has got respawned into the game once again, which is good to see. Vuguk. Sorry, dyslexia. Vuguk is going to be in that drone, but tries to just give some eyes for his team. And Evan will just be spraying and praying on that. And the Rampart falls. Just got a little bit too excited with that Sheila. Evan, at the moment, getting taken on down, will fall. And it is going to be Genesee who is going to swing on around and pick up the kill onto Evan. Two squads nearby as Vosky gets a knock onto Pix. Kinda takes to the skies. And it's going to be the breach charge from Breber that takes him down. Unfortunate there for Kaina, who gets taken on out. Thankfully, they've got Veguk, who's going to be playing as the Crypto. And there is a respawn beacon very nearby. Nifty flying. And I think they're going to be looking to see where they can spawn. On in. There is opportunity, and I think going down to this one, they've got the Pathfinder is zipping to the height, and I'm absolutely loving having our own little CCTV footage right here. It is wonderful to see, because Veguk is obviously a much better Crypto than I ever could be in terms of respawn beacons. Actually, they're going to put down a mobile respawn beacon. Also, I just called myself respawn beacon. I meant to say drone cam footage, and it looks like there actually might only be one player in this building. We swing on round, one player spotted in that corner. And it's going to be a Loba. They are being spotted on out. Veguk is doing exactly what they need to. It's just Eric Kirk who does get taken on down. Evan Kirk taken out. Kind of will get picked on back up. And Veguk doing a wonderful job as the Crypto to do exactly what Cryptos should do, which is provide recon for your aggressive players, as Bloom Dion is picking up kills in the feed. 6 kills to Breber, 2 kills to Bloom, and 3 kills to Genesee. Call that 4 kills as Q End has met their end. Kraber out. They're looking for this, and there is a Pathfinder zipping onto the height, and there's going to be a Seer as well, which stops any Qs for the time being and slows them as well. Genesee has got a Kraber. And Ash falls from the height, but has to pop the ultimate to get on back up there. Kraber in hand, and it's a 150 into the vault, taking down CP. CP just falls on down. It wasn't the best play, but Genesee, it doesn't matter how good that play was, because Genesee's shots were just better. Kraber into the vault. 5 kills for Genesee right now. Alongside the 6 of Breber and the 2, this team is on absolute fire. Genesee pushes up onto that height, and they are now going to be looking for the Seer and the Pathfinder. The Pathfinder goes down. It's going to be Astrophysicist. Just the Seer left remaining, and the Dainty Corn is taken on down. We've now got 6 for Genesee and 7 for Breber. We look at this map to see where it's falling, and there is a solo of Team Tane down at the bottom. It's going to be Bosky, which is a wonderful person to be in the mix. Are they actually going to stick a revive? No, they're not. Bosky tries to go up onto the height, misses the second grapple. And it's creeping on in. Vosky doing a great rat job right now. But unfortunately, that team has spotted them out, and Breber's going to make no mistake of this. Vosky falling on down in 4th position. And we're down to our final 3 squads. It is a straight 3 versus 3 versus 3. And not only have we got Genesee with a Kraber, we've also got Bloom Dion with a Repeater, which is absolutely disgusting. That is surely going to be Kirk on the rampart, which means that down beneath them, they're going to be having Kaina and Veguk. Kaina is going to be on that low ground. There is a team on the top of this nut right now. And Evan Kirk goes down to Genesee's Kraber. Breber pushes on forward and is trying to get aggressive. Obviously, they've already got the knock on to Evan. We'll now use that Q to get up onto the height. And we'll look to get the finish onto Evan. Not sure where Evan has actually gone to right now. But Kaina is inside one of the nuts. And it's very split from the rampart. Rampart now does a full. The Crypto is 85 meters away and is very close to the team. Where is he? There's Kaina. Obviously getting some knocks onto this. Bloom is also going to be here. And they just haven't seen where this player is. There is an enemy right there. And unfortunately, Gurkwoods did a great job, but did get spotted on out. All right, Kainer as a solo now on that left-hand side. Genesee takes a huge amount of damage, puts down the smoke. And it is going to allow Genesee to survive. Not the best ultimate coming in from Kainer. But these teams are now fighting, and this is going to offer Kainer the opportunity to come in and third party this one. Steph tries to grapple on away. They're going to look to get the revive, and it's going to be Kainer who will be pushing on in. The revives are happening on that far side. And now Kainer is on the height, and there is a chance, with how good Kainer is, that they might be able to close this one out. A great knock with that frag grenade. The Prowler spray was decent, but unfortunately, Team 17 take the win away from Kainer, who was almost able to clutch up that final win. And we have got our winners of this game, and it is going to be Team number 17, who rock it with a 10-8-4, fully deserved 22-point game. Unbelievable from the squad. Unbelievable from all three of them. We gotta look at our latest match, and this is how it is looking. There we go. Is that updated? That is indeed. There we go. 22 points for our winning team. I'm just going to join the next game whilst I'm looking for this. There we go. Yes, 22 points for it. Kainer came away as our damage leader with almost a 3k. But it was going to be Breba who came away as our kill leader with 10. And they were absolutely on fire there. Breba doing a wonderful job. Next one game is going to be starting up in just a second. But we're going to have a look at the overall leaderboard. By the way, shout out goes to Pix, Fadeaway, and Alatum, who came away with 12 kills in 6th position. Our overall leaderboard looks a little bit like this, as Bloom Dion has actually managed to push themselves up into 2nd position. And Veguk, the crypto, has managed to actually take top spot away. And you know what this is, folks? This is what I'm always saying. It is about placement. You don't need the kills. It is about solidly getting yourselves up into those end positions. 2nd place in that game here. They've obviously had some other good games tonight. And I look at that overall leaderboard, and they've only got 19 kills and 16 assists. Yes, that is quite a lot of kills, but you've got people beneath them. I mean, you've currently got 10th position Clone with 29 kills and 18 points, but they have just not been consistent. 175 points ahead of Clone, who is the kill leader. And then behind them is going to be Kainer. Kainer has been unreal tonight in the kills department. 42 kills. And yet their placement's not been good enough. And it's going to mean that even though Kainer has got 1 win, and also got 2nd place in that one, overall in the rest of the games, they've obviously been falling so much lower, and the placement is so incentivized in this that if you're not getting those placements, you're not going to push yourselves up. And Veguk is a perfect example of that, playing crypto to absolute perfection and being able to come away in top spot in the overall leaderboard. Meanwhile, I'm going to hit a very short ad break for you, and I will be back in just a second. A reminder, if you don't want to sit through any ads, outside of obviously the ones which I put on the screen in the transitions, make sure that you do subscribe to us over on Twitch. It'll be really appreciated, and just being able to know that you guys are enjoying being here on the Twitch with me on these live streams, which I absolutely love being able to cast over. Short ad break, and we'll be back in a sec. And I'm back. Sorry about that, folks. And the slightly just tapped out there. We're going to be back into this next game. And it's going to be over on E District. We'll have a little look and see where this first fight is going to be happening. And of course, where else is it going to be apart from Old Town? Team 7, who have decided to exit Humber, have got aggressive. And it's going to be Andrew, who will string around this corner as Husk gets taken down. Chambers also falls, playing with 200 ping, as I saw in the chat. And we've got our first subscriber, Leclerc. Thank you so much for subscribing with Prime. I appreciate you doing that. Leclerc, I am now going to be rooting for you to get the win right now. I'm going to try and rig it. I don't know how I can do it. Just hopefully it's not going to be a caster curse. That's all I'm saying. They are going to get the finish onto fadeaway, and it's just going to be Destaire left remaining, marked via Vantage. And that's not a legend you're wanting hunting you. Here comes the Vantage. Moving into the building. And not going to be enough. You've got Grindworthy, who gets aggressive. Grinds on into the mix. Bad Sniper, meanwhile, is going to be on Maggie this time around. And it's going to be pushing on through. Team 6 eliminated. And Chiron Apex has gone down. Clone inside of the building now. Gets the knock onto Main. And Main will fall. First time I think I've casted over Main on the main broadcast. Lovely to have you in here, Main, even if that wasn't the best showing. But you know what? There's still a chance you're going to get back into the mix. Team 19, meanwhile, are looking at this. And Klima is going to be in the building. Kamina gets taken down. It is going to be Klepto. Paulino also takes a huge amount of damage, puts an ultimate in, but is now getting pushed from elsewhere. Rusty G is going to have to use the ultimate to fully dip on away, isn't going to even bother pulling the teammates back. Instead, we'll be going to try and find a crafter, which there isn't in Losis, but there is one over in Brazil. Meanwhile, fighting continues elsewhere as Team 8 and Team 4 are right on top of each other. Saint getting knocked onto Trems and Bad Sniper in the kill feed. That is going to be a Crypto drone. And Crypto is OP comes in the chat. I mean, in that last game, Crypto went absolutely crazy. I can't lie. As Dainty Core takes down the bird. And who is this pushing into the building? It's going to be Sentinel from For Fun, who gets taken down. But there's somebody here. They are camping it. And they've been taken down by Brochacho as Deoxy also falls. And not only that, but they put a black market on top of it to stop them from getting on out. That is so 200 IQ. Big Albor and Brochacho. Unfortunately, QEnd did fall in the meantime. And so they're going to have to wait until QEnd is going to be able to get back up into the mix on this one. Big Alba does have Qs available. Instead, climbs on up and then goes up onto the top of the building, and they're now going to be able to look on over all this. Saint does fall 15 out of this one with 15 squads left remaining. Big Elbow drops down onto the low ground. Brochasso takes a lot of damage. And they have managed to get a mobile respawn beacon as well. Meanwhile, we are getting kills in the feed, and Rusty G is going to be looking for a respawn, which is great to see. Team 1 and Team 10, though, are in a fight. Vash, unfortunately, getting blocked by his own teammate. Thankfully, is able to get inside of the building, courtesy of that hard light window, which did get broken. And now Vash having to move and groove. A lovely pink flatline skin for Vash, who will be looking to try and get out of this one in a dash. I mean, the bold play there with the triple take being used as a as a shotgun even. And they are doing what they can to try and confuse the enemy. Isn't able to pick up either of those banners. But to be honest, at this moment in time, banners are the least of your worries. Picks up one. Gets his shield swap. Deciding to just not use the flatline at all. They're instead trying to just move and groove. And you know what, Vash? I fully appreciate the attempt there. But when you've got Rondon Pix and Volpini chasing you down, it's not going to be looking good for you. We look at the map, and we're going to be going over to Galleria again. Team 14 are going to be pushing up towards Neon Square and team number 9, as we're going to be getting team 5 chasing team 2 out of zone, which is pretty nuts to see. Team 14, who obviously tried to get a little bit aggressive and trap, falls down. It's going to be Big Albor, who will push on up. We'll be hoping to get that finish in just a second. QN, Brochasho, and Big Albor playing so well right now, as QN was able to get revived after getting knocked in that earlier fight. Team 14 will be getting on out of here, as it does look like we might have a DC from Labius, which is gutting to see. Hopefully they're going to be able to get back on in. They're back into the mix. And I don't think they quite realized there was anybody there. They must have been AFK. And it's all going to be up to you, Labius. We'll get through the portal. Hears them come from above. And that is so smart from Labius. Is waiting just to see if the third comes through as well. And they're not going to. QN actually might get caught out now, because I don't think that QN, obviously none of them realize that they are here. And there they are. They've been spotted out. They are just on health. They weren't able to get the shields back onto their health, and QN is going to be spamming a finisher. This is just poor sportsmanship here. Puts them on the selfie cam. Onto social media you go. Jesus, Q, what are you doing? Meanwhile, team 12 did manage to pick up some kills. Team 2 got a player killed upon them, but they are going to be able to get the revive courtesy of the respawn on the box. Ramo using those double over Qs to get out the mix, but has put himself straight in the way of another team. Ramo now using the ultimate to completely relocate back into this little building in the middle of EB. We have a little look here at the team 13-11 fight. And it's going to be Huss, Andrew, and Grindworthy. On that height is going to be Main. But Swank is the one that's actually able to get that first knock. Main has spotted that player who has dropped down onto that low ground. And the Octane puts down a pad and instantly gets obliterated. They said that the RE45 got nerfed. I really have no idea what they did to it, because that did not look nerfed to me at all. Meanwhile, King Volpe has taken down Clone, and it's probably going to be over, well, potentially over at this fight. This actually looks like a separate one completely, as QN does fall. Alba goes into the zone while the Q goes out. Has got another Q available, but is going to hold onto it for now. Trap Vagabond Caleb now with a third party onto this stream. Trems goes down, as does Levisius. One player left remaining. Where are they is the question. Down on the low ground. Rare Halos popping some heals. Does have the overflow. Holding a Q for now. And I'm liking this play just behind the shield. The thing is, he doesn't want to pop his Q. He's just using that to just see through those walls. Ray Halos has got to be careful. There is those teams above. They're going to be hoping that the teams from across help them in this fight, but it's not going to be the case. Team 1 full, Team 3 full. We're down to 12 left remaining as round 3 is about to close in 30 seconds. Bloom Dion says we need more cryptos. And you know what? I prefer a crypto over a seer, as the seer pushes on through and is going to look to get those kills onto Vagabond Caleb. Levisius is going to bounce on out of there using those altar portals, but there are teams nearby, and it's going to be Main who will be chasing down this altar. 24 enemies scanned via the drone. You can't lie, Levisius is doing a good job of trying to get out of here. The altar Q, though, just was not able to pop. Bad placement as Bad Sniper takes down Big Albert in the feed. I'm loving the adjective into the name, by the way. Bad Sniper. Big. It's big and bad. The two of you. Shame you're not on a team together as a Kraber falls from the sky. Similar zone to what we saw a little bit earlier. That was won by Kainer and co. As Team 2 are trying to hunt down the solo of Keze. Keze with a nice bit of movement, but they are going to be getting chased by Loba themselves. They will fall. Keze out. 8 squads left remaining. As Team 18 are also going to be moving in to Galleria. And we'll be looking to third party this. Bad Sniper. Trying to get some distance shots off. Levit will fall. Meanwhile, 11 and 17 are outside of the zone, and they are going to have to move on forward as Main has fallen. Paulino inside of the zone, looking at these players across from them. They've also pre-balled. Does get the damage on as that ball comes straight back at the face after bouncing off. Great shots there from Paulino onto Latom. And right now, down players from both of these teams. An ultimate comes on through. Paulino knows that they've got to try and get around this corner. And a good cue to actually go through that wall. Doesn't get the finish onto the player that was knocked, but the Q alone is going to be able to do a huge amount of damage as Rusty G swings around this corner. And they're going to be looking to try and get the finish. One player has got to wait on the inside. They aren't able to make it back on through. Team 11 taken on down. 6 squads left remaining, and another ultimate comes into play. The thing is, there is a team already here inside, or just outside of this building. Arcstars are out on the zip line to stop any push. And it will be Team 2. Have had a player knocked from a fire, courtesy of the Kraber from Steph. Steph, I'm sure, is going to be on this team right here. It is indeed. So Team 16, we're going to have to keep an eye on. Meanwhile, fighting is taking place with Team 2 getting the knock onto Paulino. Ramo in the fight in the underneath of the tunnel. Ramo does fall, however, and it's going to be to Astrophysicist, who has pushed on through. Good cue to avoid the damage from the frag grenade. So Tom now goes through this wall. There is a Seer ultimate in place. Seer ultimate destroyed. And there are now players up on the middle floor. It's going to be Paulino and Rusty G. A defensive Maggie Q. Trying to stop the pushes from taking place. Unfortunately, the Watson is down. That is not going to be ideal because it's not going to allow you to set up any more of those delightful fences. Down on the low ground, Hyper has taken a huge amount of damage. 5 squads left remaining. Team 16 and Steph with that Kraber still in play, and Steph is trying to get angles onto other players around as Rusty G has actually managed to get some kills. Where are you, Rusty? Well, you're certainly in this fight right now. You are looking at this. It's going to be Hyper, but it's going to be the Maggie Q from afar that's going to stop this. Meanwhile, Bad Sniper. Last remaining player for Team 18, Cinnabron and Clone. taken on down. Astrophysicist, Bread Slice, and Sleepy G sharing the kills, as Ramo will be the last remaining player for team number 2. Is going to get scanned by a Seer. They are playing Loba, but it is not going to be enough. Bread Slice being handed that one on a plate. Add some butter on that. A delicious little snack. The solo of that team out of here. 3 squads left remaining. And some lovely shots with the Hemlock there from Latom. The teammates will push on up. And it's going to be Astrophysicist who's going to have to try and play defensively with that Prowler. Frag grenades are being thrown, and they are waiting for that player to come up the stairs. And it's going to be that Prowler that does such a good job. They have now got the upgrade to go full auto if they want. Sleepy G falls on down. Steph will push behind and will look to get the finish onto Bread Slice. CPG has fallen. They're trying to get a revive. A Watson comes through. And actually a nice punch from Steph there. Makes him move out of the way, which was pretty good. They now come back through the portal. And it's just 2 teams left remaining. There are 5 players, which means it is just a duo. They don't know this. We'll stay on board with Steph because Steph has got a Kraber. And they haven't reloaded Steph. Taking down Rusty G. 1 left remaining player on this team. Obviously, they don't realize that as an altar portal comes on out. Steph will move. We'll be trying to line up a Kraber shot. Finish this off for us, Steph. Steph, hit the shot. Hit the shot. Steph! Oh. Almost had the opportunity to close that one out beautifully for us. But unfortunately, wasn't to be, but we'll still take, absolutely will take a double. Team 16 with 8-9 kill victory. 6 kills going to the Astrophysicist, 1 to Steph with that Kraber, and 2 to Sleepy G. We have a little look at our latest match standings and reload that one up for you. And that's how we are looking. I'll make sure also that if there is another game about to start that I'm loading up on into this, looks like we are going to be able to get into one pretty quickly after this, which is great to see. There might be a sort of 2-minute break between, but I hope you don't mind that, folks. Anyway, as I look at this latest match, Steph, Sleepy G, Astrophysicist taking your top spot right there with 9 kills. Looking on down, we've got a second with 3, a third with 9, a fourth with 6, and a fifth with 13. A great game, actually, there coming out from Clone, Bad Sniper, and Cinnabon, but that is to be expected. When you've got Clone on your team, Clone has been an absolute slayer when it comes to the kills, as has Bad Sniper. And Cinnabon has actually had a pretty decent day of it when it comes to the kills. So we'll have a little look at the overall standings just to see how that has changed. And Astrophysicist has actually managed to rocket themselves up into first position with that win. And once again, we are seeing that you don't necessarily need the most amount of kills to take away that first place. Bad Sniper does have a lot of kills, and they were on that team with Cologne, managing to come away with a 5th place 13 kill game. And they're now going to be into 2nd position in the overalls. Paulino in 3rd, Clone in 4th, and Veguk had a bad game in that last one, has unfortunately not been able to push on any further, unfortunately for you, Veguk. But we are wanting to see more cryptos in this lobby, and I'm certainly calling out some crypto action. Whilst I wait for this next one to go through, I'm just going to have a little look at the chat just to see how we are looking and what's been occurring. What is the Wraith doing a little bit earlier? The Wraith was lost in that early fight. I think I know exactly the one you're talking about. If you don't know which one I'm talking about, make sure that you watch the VODs. They're going to be obviously available on Twitch for the next week or so, but we're also going to be chucking all of them up on our YouTube at CCE, UCX over on YouTube. At the moment, Chiron says, is it still on, why is it still on EU servers? I thought it was supposed to be NA. I believe it should be NA, but we'll make sure to get that checked going into this next game so that we're making sure that these servers are on NA. Kraber Infinite Ammo says Hazel, unfortunately, we didn't get to see too much of that in the action there from Steph. They did get a knock, but it wasn't quite enough. And yeah, the reload master Steve in the house. Steph, you did a great job of reloading that Kraber. It was a good effort. It was a good effort. But yeah, good win from you there, Steph, and from your teammates as well, of course. Was about to pull the AQBA move. What is the AQAB move? Akba move. Dyslexia is really making this tough for me, if I'm being completely honest. I'm going to hit you with a very small ad break just whilst I sort some stuff out. Actually, instead of hitting you with an ad break, I'm instead going to pull up a live stream from somebody that's... Is there anybody streaming? You know what? I'm hitting you with that break because my brain's breaking. I'll be back in just a second, folks. I'll also turn off the video just because you probably have seen that quite a few times. So I'm just going to be back in just a second, just while I sort out this next game. Sorry about that there, folks. We are back on this next one, and it is going to be my last one on stream. The games are going to continue going after stream as well. But we're going to be on World's Edge for this final game. It's going to be Mad, Maggie, Caustic, Seer, and Rampart are our banned teams. Banned teams, a banned legends even, and they're no longer going to be in this mix. Thank you so much for sticking through just whilst we had just some small technical dilemmas in the background. These things happen, but I hope that I'm glad that you all stuck around for this. Lovely to see 67 viewers in the stream. I'm sure that Ivan is out here somewhere doing this, but we're going to be going into this game now. In game, you can see exactly what everybody is repping. We have got Swankvoski and Vaguk on that crypto, and I love to see a bit of crypto in the mix. Also, love to give a big shout out Leclerc, obviously our first subscriber of the night, and I really appreciate you doing that. This is obviously we recently have moved as Twitch as our primary platform for all things CCE and SQL, and if you enjoy the action, we do appreciate you sticking around and becoming a little bit more of a full-fledged member, as it were, of the team. Max Strafe, Sentinel, and Minato are certainly a team that I'm going to be having a little look at here on team number 8. Obviously, for fun, Sentinel, the coach for the For Fun roster. It's lovely to have them in the mix. Obviously, for fun, playing from the EU or the EMEA region. Sentinel will be looking for this one, who, especially alongside Max, there's a good opportunity for them to get the win as they loot up by Overlook, and it does look like it is going to be pulling towards that west-hand side. Got a chance it might go Skyhook. It might also be a countdown Fisher end game. We'll have to wait and see when somebody scans a beacon for us. But who is not going to be scanning a beacon is going to be Deoxdy, who will be pushing on up alongside Imas and Flubis. Will be getting on into this mix. Takes the height using that Loba Q, slightly goes a little bit further than I think that they were initially expecting, and there is now going to be a player on that door using the Hemlock to breach it. The massive shot, first one does not hit, second one does, third one not quite enough to get the kill. Keze with the Havoc managing to finish that one off, but Keze will fall to Flubis's PK shot. Flubis will fall. And now Imas drops down from that height and gets the finish on to Grindworthy. Good shots with the Spitfire and with the car. And they've already got a infinite ammo. They're going to need it, especially when they have already been pushed on up. Axel will take to the second floor. Be sliding on away. Doesn't have a queue for a few seconds, but there is one already here, which they are going to use to try and confuse the team. They have put an ultimate down. The ultimate will take put a player into the sky, but Deoxy is really just not even interested in this and will be bouncing on out of there. Meanwhile, Team 8 with Max, Minato, and Sentinel will be pushing up and getting aggressive onto Labius, Steph, and Vagabond. Lots of nades being thrown out. A tough position right now for this team inside. They'll be looking to try and heal up that hard light. They do manage to do that, but unfortunately, Max Strafe pushes on through on the Pathfinder. Just Labius left remaining for team number 4. And Sentinel takes to the sky, but Sentinel gets put down. Courtesy of the Prowler of Labius. And there is now a third party coming on into the mix. Labius will drop down from the sky. Unfortunately, Breba is going to be that player who's coming with the third party. Team 19 picking up that kill. And we are going to be having Sentinel, who did get taken on down, hoping that Minato and Max Strafe are going to be able to do bits to get them back in. Grimeworthy saying, the teammates, I'm gonna cry. I'm sorry to see that, Grimeworthy. And I'm also sorry for Max, who has just been taken on down. Thankfully, Minato has ran very far away, and they will be getting on out. Big fight, though, taking place right now. It's going to be Bird, who we saw earlier. Got a little bit too excited, left the bubble in a final zone fight. Is going to put down a Gibby ult. Unfortunately, there is no bubble for 5 seconds, and they definitely needed that. Klepto, who we've been seeing a lot this evening on the Octane, is now going to be on the Axel, and we know that this, just from those 2 picks alone, this is a legend that likes to go fast. This clone will get finished by Bad Sniper, and they will get some kills. Fighting continuing to take place over at Fragment and the little outskirts village. Swank will heal on up, and that is going to be a Fuse ultimate that just got put through that that box. Didn't really do a huge amount in the way of damage, as Vaguk is going to be on that crypto once again. Vaguk giving those scans to Voski. Voski with, unfortunately, I was going to say almost in like, decent positioning, but wasn't able to get on out of the way, especially when you got somebody going through the window to finish them off. Swank, though, is back. Is dropped from the sky, courtesy of Vaguk on the crypto, and Vaguk is now just going to be ratting this one out, hiding right here behind this bin. Fuse running straight past. And this is highly impressive. I can't lie. This is a unique way. This is now a game of Mecha Chameleon. And they got spotted on out. Picks taking down Vaguk. And out in 15th place do go team number 1. Astrophysicist getting kills in the kill feed. And we are getting a counter ring pull. So while I thought we might initially go over this way, it has bounced all the way back on over towards Monument Way. Meanwhile, just outside of Harvester, we have got Team 9. I was about to say, who's trying to find players. Rusty G is so far out of the mix right now. Inside of Fragment. I mean, look at that. That is light years away. Team 18 and 19 are pretty close to each other. It's going to be a Loba Q up onto the height from fadeaway. Let's be sat on the height. Chambers CC says, I'm stuck in the custom lobby. Team 7 rip. Can I leave the match and queue up for the next game since I'm stuck in the custom lobby screen? I think that's probably the best thing for you to do, Chambers. I'm sorry that you weren't able to get in. As it does look like Team 7, bit of a rip. They were taken out of this lobby already without you. But yeah, best thing for you to do is to probably just re-queue up for the next game and wait for the next one to kick off. Meanwhile, Exy, Fadeaway, and Paulino residing inside a monument, and they don't know it yet. They haven't got the ring knowledge, but it is pulling back towards them. Outside of the ring, however, and over at Countdown, we have got Team 12, who are moving their way on up. Just some shots from afar. And I'm going to bounce over and see a look at Team 12, because Team 12 have got Clone, Bird, and Klepto. They managed to get back up into the mix after both Bird and Clone went down. Klepto did a good job of getting on out of there. They have been micro-droned, though, and that is going to be the Seer. Seer of Q-End on team number 6. Red Slice getting kills in the kill feed. I'm going to bounce quickly over to the Team 5 fight, because Team 5 have managed to get a knockdown onto 2 players. Just Velem left remaining. Velem Kobeing out that ultimate to maybe just try and stop a push from happening. I don't think Velem's quite sure where they're going to go just yet. They're going to pop a battery inside of this cart. Meanwhile, Team 12 and Team 5 are in a fight. Klepto swings around that corner. A bold choice. Didn't want to reload. Had just 5 bullets left remaining in that magazine, but they were confident in the swing. Went round that corner, and they were able to pick this up. And they are now going to become the kill leader in this lobby as Clone picks up a kill onto Riz. And Team 5 are out of this one. Team 12 have got to be careful. Because right now they do have Free Ryu. If you're in the chat, please do let me know what name you are trying to free. Is it Yuka or Ryu? Do let me know. Meanwhile, you are going to push up and get aggressive. This Loba having to watch out for those nades. Manages to avoid 1, manages to avoid 2, and does a really good job of surviving those defensively thrown grenades. And a Gibby ult. Oh, sorry, a little bit of a lag there. That's on my end. I think probably just because we're on the NA server here. But there are players inside of the zone. And CP does fall. CP out of this one, courtesy of the Hemlock shots. And down go the rest of the team. Team 13 out of this lobby. Jamstein, Saint, and CP all are dead. Unfortunate for them. Meanwhile, Team 14 and Team 8 are going to be fighting over here at this new Towers building. Sentinel down, Minato down. It's just Max Strafe left remaining in the lobby for team number 8. Genesee has also picked up the... Oh, just picked up the finish for Full Fun Sentinel. As Ramo is actually getting knocked by Breba. Breba swing around that corner with the full auto Prowler. Gets a good crack there onto the Seer. Breva, though, would take a huge amount of damage, so has to drop back. Gets the knock, courtesy of Bread Slice. Following that up onto Cube End. And Bread Slice is now going to do what they can to push on over and maybe look to... Sorry, it is quite funny actually seeing the players just crawling extremely quickly on the ground. But anyway, Pix looking at a fuse taken to the sky, Duck Hunt style, jumps on up. He's called Pull, Clay Pigeon hunting. Not able to get the knock on that one, but there were some decent shots onto the Fusey boy. Brabber taking a lot of damage. Pix will hit the Q, and thanks to the overflow, they will be healing on up. Brabber, though, manages to get a shield swap. They're going to push on forward. They're going to look to get aggressive as a Pathfinder is going to be in the distance, making a rotate. Red Slice tanks the damage of the Gibby bubble, and they are going to swing through. It's going to be Bird, which means that it's going to be Max Strafe, who's also nearby, who's respawning in. And Bird, I believe that's going to be Clone's team, I think, if I'm not mistaken. A Valkyrie queuing from the height, and actually it's going to be somebody deep inside the zone. It's going to be Sentinel, who's only just got revived, courtesy of Max's play. And Bread Slice is going to be putting just like 1,000 or 2,000 nades into this building. How many more have you got? You've got another 3 frag grenades. That's actually insane to see as Breba will push on inside of the building. More grenades are being thrown. Another frag grenade is still available if they so wish. And a Kraber was in that care package. Somebody is moving into the open. This might well be Max. It is indeed. With Manatu, who has queued away using that Loba Q. Max will pop a very delightful grapple and will put himself into a slightly safer position. They've got to be careful, though, because there are teams just up on the height of this, as Breba will actually go down to Max Strafe and is finished on off. Cheesupper has spotted out Max, so Max will fall. Shots there coming in from the astrophysicist. Not just very smart, but also a smart player, obviously. That's why they're here. End zone has been revealed. We are going to be ending over here at the south side of the zone, just over the bridge and over the lava. So some pretty gnarly spots. Team 11 are in a decent spot. Team 14 obviously are also pretty close, but they are going to have to move. G-Summer takes a huge amount of damage, will jump back up onto the height. Meanwhile, the astrophysicist with a just delicious grapples. And you know what, I'm always gonna gas up a good Pathfinder grapple, purely because I can't do it very well myself. I've never been able to Spider-Man like these guys can. Wraith is queuing up the evac tower, a perfectly done queue, and they are going to take to the skies as Pix flying on through, trying to find any type of spot, and might actually be able to sit on top of this building as a solo for now. They are seeing somebody getting respawned back in, and that might be Max Strafe's team. It is indeed. Max, Manasso, and Sentinel are all back in the mix. Manasso doing a really good job using that Loba ultimate to grab banners. Oh my god, oh my gosh. Manasso! Manasso! Is going to be able to get inside of the zone just. Unfortunately, Sentinel does fall. Max will heal on up as Manasso will be crawling on over to them. Meanwhile, there is a Kraber and it is going to be Trap. We need to find where Trap is. Bloom Dion taking down Bird, Livette taking down Clone, and it is going to be Klepto who closes out that one. One player left remaining will be Klepto, as we are going to have Trap with that Kraby. My gosh, it's getting late now. I can't speak properly. Can you still join today? Yes, you absolutely can. Head over to cce.gg. Join the action. Yes, cce.gg. Just type in that one there so that our wonderful Mr. PBR is going to be able to join in the next game, which will be great to see. Squad wipe comes out. Klepto, the solo, taking on down. 2 squads left remaining. It's a straight 3 versus 3. Hit that Kraber shot. Livette is not living anymore after a, 210 to the dome. Astrophysicist will push on in. We'll jump over to Astrophysicist, who's got that L-Star. They have popped a lifeline ultimate, and now they go into that ultimate, takes down DD. 1 player left remaining, and it is just gonna be all up to Bloom Dion. Bloom Dion is a hell of a player, but I don't think we'll be able to do any more than just be cannon fodder for team at number 9. Brilliantly done from team 9. They are going to come away with a very nice 17 kill game. 7 for Cheese Upper, 7 for Astrophysicist, and 3 for Trap. We have a little look at those match stats, and it was a top heavy lobby. 17, 15, and 9 from those top teams. We have a little look at the latest match as how we are standing, and this is how we look, everybody. I say that it was top heavy. 17, obviously first position, only fourth place with a 15 pointer. And then you got a 9 from our third. And then 7 came in from 8th position. So it's a little bit spread out in the kills in terms of sort of the overall positioning, but it was dominated by just a couple teams, if we're being completely honest. As we said, though, that is going to be the last game that I am going to be streaming. The games are going to be continuing on, and we are going to be doing a raid at the end of the stream. I have been informed by CCE who we're going to be doing it to, so you're going to have to stick around to see who that is going to be. But in the meantime, whilst I get that raid ready, we're just going to have a little look at the overall leaderboard and how it currently stands. As a reminder, we do have if you would like to, you can join in, get some subscriptions, and join in as a subscriber to the CCE channel. Get in early because we're going to be here every single weekend, and we want you here from the off on the CCE solo queue. Just going to hit clip that on the on my second monitor so that we can get that lovely Krabby Patty shot coming in from the wonderful Trap. But yes, overall, Astrophysicist has taken the lead there with a 750-point bomb that they are having here this evening. Bad Sniper in second, and it's going to be Bloom Dion, who obviously came second in that game just there. But Bloom will be holding that one out with 550 points in second place. Cologne drops down into fourth with Paulinho there as well. And Veguk, who obviously had a little bit of a tough game, all things considered, did a great job of trying to hide behind that bin, but was spotted out, is now down into sixth position. I'm going to set up the raid on this next one here. We're going to go find who we're going to raid. Raid. Where is this person? I'm just going to quickly get the name of who we're raiding very quickly. Hey guys, what's the name of the person that we're going to be raiding again? Thank you very much. Is he still streaming? Here's a date. 3 viewers, perfect. We're gonna head straight in on Rusty's stream. He isn't. Oh, that's a shame. Well, we're gonna need Bloom Dion. We're gonna head over to Bloom Dion. Perfect. Nice. We've got the call from the squad about who we're going to be raiding now. So stick around whilst I set up this raid, and appreciate you all being here. I'm also just going to run, whilst I do this, I'm just going to run an ad while I just set up the raid. I appreciate you just being here. Bloom Dion. There we go. All right, nice. Nice. We will be raiding Bloom in just a second. Have I got this right? I think that's the right person. Yeah, that's going to be the right person. Lovely stuff. I'm just going to set this up on the big monitor. Here we go. Perfect, perfect. All right, I hope that all of you are going to stick around for the raid, by the way, because it's we would definitely want to go get a good amount of people. We've got 56 viewers in the chat, 58 viewers in the chat. Yeah, we want to go raid Bloom. Also, just before I go, as just a reminder for everybody, this is what the standings are looking like going into this one. Where is Bloom is the question. Bloom isn't in the top 10 or in the top 20. Bloom, we need you all to bring absolutely solid vibes to Bloom, because if we can get everybody coming into the chat and hyping up Bloom, then we will hopefully see them be able to rocket themselves up into the top 10 and get themselves in the money for the weekend. Perfect. All right. I have got Bloom. I'm going to start this raid. Make sure that everybody joins up and is ready for the raid.